Hi, my name is Megan Harding, and this is my case study for Module 8B. Let's begin with Category 1, identifying the problem and what I know. From the case study, I know that Ms. Walker is new to education and she is struggling with managing her classroom. I know that Dr. Forbes was aware of Ms. Walker's struggles and had discussed techniques with Ms. Walker that she had unsuccessfully implemented into her classroom. I know that several parents had spoken with Dr. Forbes about their fears of their students obtaining their first low grade in a class. Many were frustrated with the stress level Ms. Walker's class was placing on their children. I know as a result of student frustration, a website had been posted and sent to Ms. Walker that made threatening comments about her. I need to know some additional information not included in the case study. Had Ms. Walker made any attempts to improve her teaching methods? If so, what was the level of success? So I do know she had attempted to place some new techniques and they were unsuccessful, but I am not sure exactly from the case study what they were and how unsuccessful they were. I also need to know, did the majority of students have frustrations that had been voiced to parents or administration about Ms. Walker's teaching methods? I know several parents had concerns, but the case study didn't specifically say that students had concerns. What had the administration done about the multiple parent complaints? Is there a history of cyberbullying at the school? And how can the email or website be tracked to the point of origin? This leads me to a couple components of a large problem we have at this school. Due to the continued stress students are feeling and complaints from parents, it is evident Ms. Walker's teaching methods are damaging the relationship between the families and the school. And although some new techniques had been discussed and implemented, Ms. Walker has continued to struggle with teaching her course. Students are treating Ms. Walker disrespectfully by posting negative comments about her online, and students have even gone so far as to threaten Ms. Walker and make her feel fearful for her life. All these components lead to this problem that we are having. Several families are upset with the school because of their children's lack of success and high stress levels in Ms. Walker's class. Ms. Walker is also upset because she feels threatened and because her good name has been tarnished by students' comments. This is a large problem we are dealing with in this case study. So then we need to look at how to solve that problem. Category 2, a proposed plan of action and appropriate plan for implementation. Let's begin with step 1 of our plan. First, we must determine the severity of the threats that had been made toward Ms. Walker. We need to attempt to locate the creator of the website to investigate the harmful intent so we know how serious this is. We need to contact parents to seek any information they may have about their children's online activity. We need to interview all students enrolled in Ms. Walker's courses to determine the overall student sentiment toward Ms. Walker. And we need to interview Ms. Walker to determine if any student or group of students had previously made threats. We need to look at everybody involved to find exactly where this problem originated and how serious the problem is. After that has been determined, we move on to step 2. We need to look at repairing the reputation of Ms. Walker. First, quickly destroy the website as soon as we can in order to minimize the amount of views that website has. We need to require those responsible to publicly retract any harmful statements made about Ms. Walker. Then we would impose any pre-established school consequences on those at fault for creating the website to discourage any behaviors from happening in the future that are similar to this. Then we would need to meet with all parents and current students of Ms. Walker to explain future expectations and let them know that Ms. Walker is still a professional in the school and is to be treated as such, regardless of the website or other things that have occurred. We also need to take a look at those concerns that had been brought before about Miss Walker, so a plan of improvement needs to be created. First, it'd be a good idea to meet with parents and/or students who are concerned and find the exact issues and difficulties they are facing. Then together, Miss Walker and I would brainstorm several strategies to improve her teaching methods based on the data we had gathered from the students and parents. We would then implement these new strategies and give them a try in her classroom. I would continue to observe Miss Walker and meet with her on a weekly basis in order to monitor the progress of the plan. As we move through this plan, if a couple of things come up, we need to take them seriously, so these are a couple of additions to the plan. If the identification of the website creator cannot be determined in a reasonable amount of time, authorities will be notified to keep Miss Walker safe. So until we know exactly how severe the threat is, proper protocol needs to be taken so Miss Walker is safe. If Miss Walker's safety is an issue, a leave of absence may be necessary until further investigation can be done. Parents need to be notified as we move through this plan, so they're aware of the actions that the school is taking to resolve this. And all consequences issued in this issue will align with school policy that is already in place. After our plan of action is put into motion and we see results, we will need to have a resolution. This is my proposed resolution in Category 3. Moving forward in Miss Walker's teaching career at Roosevelt High School, she will have an open line of communication between herself and students. As students communicate to Miss Walker their concerns, Miss Walker will seriously consider their concerns and respond in a timely manner. In this way, she may or may not alter her teaching practices as she sees fit from a professional standpoint. If students continue to have unresolved problems with Miss Walker, a meeting should be set up involving students, parents, and Miss Walker. Miss Walker will again respond in a timely manner based on her professional judgment. If further grievances exist between Miss Walker and her students, the administration should then be involved. Additionally, a plan of improvement for Miss Walker will be in place to address the concerns that had already been voiced to the administration. In this resolution, best practices for students are always considered. In the previously outlined resolution, a plan was considered based on the academic success and personal well-being of every student. That includes that students have the right to voice concerns and frustrations with their teachers. Students have a right to learn in the least restrictive environment that gives them the opportunity to grow. Students have a right to hear the justification for certain school practices and how they pertain to education. And students are at school to grow and learn in preparation for the real world, not just to earn grades on papers. My rationale for this resolution is that Miss Walker is a professional and should be able to make proper judgment when it comes to learning strategies in her classroom. Students should be challenged by a rigorous classroom environment. Miss Walker's courses are specialized, which means they may be more rigorous than others. Parents and students should have an open line of communication to discuss things with both Miss Walker and Dr. Forbes. And if a concern is not addressed in a timely manner, parents and students should have the ability to find a resolution elsewhere. Okay, now we need to reflect on the problem and if we really did it the way we should have. So that brings us to category 4, debriefing the problem by reflection. As I evaluated the situation in the case study, I came to the following conclusions. I was feeling that Dr. Forbes had done an adequate job of addressing the parent concerns that had been brought to his attention. I was thinking that students had felt the need to take action into their own hands because of the lack of resolution they were feeling. I was valuing the professional way Ms. Walker had conducted herself in this stressful situation. Even though it was a scary situation, Ms. Walker did keep a level head and did not overreact. Even though we had a step-by-step plan, there are always unresolved issues. Will any legal action be brought against the students who created the web page threatening Ms. Walker? Are the parent and student perceptions of Ms. Walker tarnished moving forward, or can a new working relationship be established? How will the school policies change based on this incident? Will harsher consequences be added to school policy? Now I need to reflect that I acted ethically and in the best interest of my students all the way through this process. The academic success of every student was promoted by my sense of integrity and ethical behavior in the following ways. Number 1, I kept an open and honest investigation by keeping all families aware of the actions I intended to follow in my investigation. Number 2, I did not place blame of the incident on any one person throughout the course of my resolution and did not hand out any consequences unless absolute guilt was found. Number 3, I stood behind Ms. Walker and attempted to guide her through the first couple years of teaching without taking any harsh actions in response to parent complaints. Throughout my resolution and investigation, I adhered to ethical principles and professional norms by, first of all, if any real harm or danger had been detected for Ms. Walker, authorities were quickly notified to provide proper support and protection. Number 2, any consequences that were issued to students for their actions were directly related to school policies that had been previously in place. And number 3, the technology team on campus was utilized for tracking the origin of the website. No outside sources were used or brought in. So I kept everything under the school's radar as we were investigating. And I feel that I demonstrated a personal and professional code of ethics by continuing to support Ms. Walker as she grows as an educator. My resolution did not punish or diminish her control over her classroom. Working with Ms. Walker in a plan of improvement, together we brainstormed ideas and reflected on their effectiveness to improve her classroom. So I do not believe that any drastic measures were taken. Everything was done by school standards. No one person was given all the blame. And Ms. Walker was not unduly punished, but the concerns were seriously considered and a plan was put in place to solve those.